to my video. Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 16 of season 17 of Deadliest Catch. And the four boats that are going to be in this episode is the Corneli Marie, the Time Bandit, the Summer Bay, and the Saga. In this episode, there is a big change in the fishing process. In the past, the canneries have had set dates and times where the crab boats come in to do their offload for their crab. But now, it's first come, first serve, so it's basically no holds barred right now. And you could be waiting not even a day, you could wait a day, wait 5 days, or up to a week. But once you get past a week, it's cutting it real close because you have about 2 weeks or so where the crab can survive in the tanks before they start dying off. And once one crab dies, or many start dying, they release a toxin, and that could wipe out your whole catch, and you'd have a ton of dead loss. This is adding a whole nother level to their fishery. It was like this a long time ago, first come, first serve, but it hasn't been this way for a long time. So, it's definitely adding a lot to this season. This episode starts out with the Summer Bay, and they're hauling in some gear. They're getting less than 100 pelio crab per pot. While they were hauling in a pot, all of a sudden, the hydraulic line on their levers to control every essential thing on the deck of the crab boat, a hydraulic hose just breaks and it starts spewing hydraulic fluid all over the place on deck. They try and start fixing it, but they don't have the right part, so they're gonna have to go back into Dutch Harbor to go get the part. And that's thousands of dollars they're gonna be spending on fuel and other essentials on the boat. Then it goes to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit is way out there, and they're getting a couple hundred opelio crab per pot, and Jonathan's really happy about that. One point, he was moving in his seat, and he kicked his monitor on his computer. That is really important, because it has all of his spots marked out on where he needs to be, where his pots are, and where he's had good fishing in the past. And that kick wiped out the whole system. He's like, I don't want to have to go back into town and waste a bunch of money, but I might have to. Then it goes to the Saga, and the Saga is fishing, and they're getting a couple hundred opelio crab per pot. He's going through his gear, and since it's doing so good, he's like, I'm going to set this gear back. While he's setting that gear back, it's nighttime. One of his generators gets knocked out, and the lights are kind of flashing and stuff. Stuff was starting to lose power, so Jake hailed one of his crew members over the hailer on the deck, and he was like, get down to the engine room and get the generator going. They got the second generator going, but the first one had surged, so it took out a voltage meter, which is really important. It helps regulate the volts so there's no fires or make sure it's all good. That surge kind of screwed that, so they had to go back harbor to get that fixed. So they started heading back into St. Paul. And then it goes to the Corneli Marie, and the Corneli Marie is in about 800 to 900 feet of water where they're setting their gear, and they're getting 300 and 400 opelio crab per pot. Casey was like, I want to set our gear in even deeper water, move forward, because I think the numbers will be better there. So they're adding a whole nother shot of line, which will have their pot in 1,000 feet of water, which the line could snap, and you'll lose probably about $2,000 worth of gear, because the pot is about $1,500, and the shots of rope are probably a couple $100 a shot. They move a little ways away, and they start setting their gear in 1,000 feet of water, which is about 97 fathoms deep. Then it goes back to the Summer Bay, and the Summer Bay, they got the hose fixed, and they're getting ready to head back out to the Bering Sea. And they've also loaded 110 crab pots and 10 cod pots on board. And Jonathan gives Wild Bill a call and asks him if he can pick up his new computer equipment to bring it out to him. And Jonathan's about 500 miles away from Dutch Harbor, so that'll be a long steam. He tells Wild Bill that I'm on 200 to 400 average of opelio crab. Wild Bill's like, yeah, I'll bring it out to you. Wild Bill's gonna set his 110 pots in coordinates that Jonathan will give him. Gets his computer up and running again. Then it goes back to the saga, and the saga is just getting into St. Paul Harbor. The waves are pretty gnarly. They're 10 plus feet tall, and St. Paul, when the waves are real big and stuff, is a real bitch to get into. You have to time the waves right, because if you time them wrong, you could wind up on rocks on shore, which is not good. Jake timed it right, and he made it into the harbor safely to get his generators fixed. Then it goes back to the summer bay, and the summer bay is steaming out to the Time Bandit to drop off the computer for him. They get Jonathan on the radio, and they have it in a watertight case, and they drop it into the Bering Sea right by Jonathan, and Jonathan picks it up, and they start fixing the computer. Then it goes to the Corneli Marie. The Cornelia Marie starts hauling in their gear. They're 1,000-foot deep pots. The first 3 pots, basically, all hell breaks loose, and they break 3 pots off. That is probably with the pots and all the line and equipment that's in the pots. It's probably $2,000 a pot or more. Just with those 3 pots, they lost about $6,000. They figure out a solution where they keep the boat basically at idle because it's creating too much tension with the waves and with them moving, and they figured that out. So they figured if they basically keep the Cornelia Marie at an idle, that pots have a better chance of coming up safely, and they won't lose $2,000+ per pot. They try it on 1 pot, and it does real good. So they are getting about 400 to 500 opilio crab per pot. Each pot that they bring in is about $3,000 to $3,500 a pot with the crab. They're doing real well. Then it goes back to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit, they get the computer fixed and they turn it on, and they get all their numbers and everything that they need. They send Wild Bill coordinates to some good fishing. The summer base starts sending their gear on those coordinates. Then it goes to the saga. The saga goes back to the 75 pots that they had set back, and they're getting 300 to 400 opilio crab per pot, which is really, really good. So Jake's like, this never happens to me. I never set back. And it's really paying off for him this season. He's setting his pots back for a 3rd time, and we'll see how he does in the next episode. Then it goes back to the summer bay, and the summer bay is hauling in their gear. The first pot came up just shy of 200, and then they're averaging 200 to 300 crab per pot. So Wild Bill's really happy, and he calls Jonathan over on the Time Bandit, and he's like, thank you for giving us these great coordinates, because we've been really struggling with the amount of crab we were getting. So they're extremely happy. And then it goes to the Cornelia Marie, and the Cornelia Marie is just pulling up to St. Paul Harbor. There's like 21 boats in line, so it's going to be a long time, and they're cutting it really, really close. We'll see what happens in the next episode with them. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of episode 16 of season 17 of Deadliest Catch. Don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, please share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.